Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this episode of Orchestrated Rams with Ian on the Rams Up Podcast Network. Today, we'll be breaking down a heavyweight battle in Week 11 between two NFC West foes, the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks, out there in SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. And holy moly, what a game that was. Defensively, a masterclass from the Rams. You could say the same thing about the Seattle Seahawks, as this game had the fireworks on offense, but man, there were so many impactful plays on defense and on offense, of course. And we'll break down the top 5 most impactful plays of the game. In my eyes, again, some offense and some big-time defensive plays. And with that said, let's get into it. On this first impactful play of the game, first quarter, 10 minutes, 59 seconds left, 1st and 10 situation for the Seahawks offense as the ball game is tied 0-0. So this is not long after the Rams offense tried to convert on 4th and 1, could not do that. So here the Seattle Seahawks are trying to get their own drive going. And here they are in 12 personnel grouping, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. They'll be running a play action pass out of this. So we'll draw it as such. You'll get the fake by the running back, and then he'll check down there in the middle, right? As that'll be the fake point, the X I just drew there. And then both tight ends will be kind of check blocking, chip blocking, whatever name you like, right? They're going to give a quick little jam to the pass rushers and then go off for a pass. Both of them will do that, and then they'll run to the flat. So you get that there, little chip block there. Run to the flat. You're going to get Cooper Kupp. He'll be running like a deep curl, comeback, stop route. I mean, whatever name you like. He'll be running that on the outside. And then you'll get the other receiver here running that deep, go or streak route. So pretty simple on this 1st and 10 situation for Seattle, as run fake and then let Sam Darnold diagnose and see who's open. On the Rams side of things on defense, they are in their nickel package, meaning they have 5 DBs on the field. And if you notice here, all these guys are lined up near the line of scrimmage. That messes with opposing offenses, right? Can make the quarterback question what he's seeing, can make the running back, the linemen, the pass catchers. So there is some foolery going on purpose from that. But they're not lined up like that to play mind games necessarily. The Rams are playing cover 1 robber. So the 1 in cover 1, meaning one person is deep in zone. That'll be Cameron Curl there. I'll join that circle. There you go. And then the robber part of this means that there's going to be a safety who is back deep, is actually going to play shorter to that middle intermediate part of the field to pick up any pass, to maybe deflect, intercept, and, quote unquote, rob the play. And that is what Cameron Kitchens is doing on this. And then everyone else will be in man-to-man coverage. So you're going to get Forbes man there, Kobe Durant man there, the 2 corners. You're going to get Quinn Lake, the slot nickel, man on the tight end. Inside linebacker Nate Landman, man on that tight end. And then inside linebacker Omar Spates, man on the running back. With, of course, all the other guys rushing the quarterback like normal. Byron, Turner, Tyler Davis, and then Jared Verse. So again, cover 1 person deep, everyone man-to-man, but then there is a robber going on with Kitchens trying to be the robber guy underneath and make a big play. And that's his job on this. So with that said, let's let the play go for a quick second and see what the heck happens. So with the play go there, you see the play action fake. You see everyone in the man-to-man coverage. You see the one guy curl dropping deep, and then here we go. Look at this. You see Kitchens there. His main purpose is to rob this play, right? He is the robber guy in this. And as you can see here, he's 1,000% reading the eyes of the quarterback, Sam Darnold. What is Sam Darnold looking at? Well, he is looking to throw that curl comeback route to Cooper Kupp. But as you also notice on top of that, you see fantastic pressure by the Rams pass rush, right? I mean, you got guys in his lap. As you can see, the linemen are getting shoved backwards. So, with all that happening here, let's let it go a little bit more. Sam just forces it. 1,000% forces the pass to Cooper Kupp there, right? And I get it. 50-50 chance of it getting completed, right? Better to throw it than to take the sack. I totally get it here, as he threw the ball and then he's trying to connect right there to Kupp. But look at Cameron Kitchens. He sees it and he's starting to run that way to rob this play, right? He is the robber guy in this cover one robber. And oh man, let's let it go a little bit more here. Boom, snagged it. What a hell of a job there. Let's rewind it real quick. As you could see, was 1,000% the entire time reading Sam Darnold. He is the robber guy in this. And what an athletic play. There's not many safeties that are able to do that. Remember, he started on this far left side of the field, or the bottom of the screen, and look where he ended up, man. That is super athleticism right there. As again, as you notice here, I think Kobe Durant would have broken up the pass anyway. I think this wasn't going to get completed, but so be it. Cameron Kitchens, the second-year safety and starter for the Rams, just does one hell of a job here, robbing this play on the cover one robber. So what an impactful play this was. Great job, great defense by everyone, great pressure to force the pass, and hey, Sam Darnold just 1,000% did not see Kitchens coming over, and man, what an impactful play that was. On the second impactful play of the game, we jump to much later in the first quarter. Cameron Kitchens had the big INT, Rams score, and a lot of craziness went on between then. 1 minute, 41 seconds left in this first quarter. Now the Rams are back in a 4th-and-1 situation on offense as they are up 7-3, and here they are in 11 personnel grouping, and they decide to run the football on this 4th and short, or 4th-and-1. Now, they decide to run outside zone to the left, or to the right of your screen. Again, left, meaning if you're the offense facing the end zone. And in this, it's not typically blocked this way. This is more of an old school way of blocking zone. Usually, long story short, there is the quote-unquote covered or uncovered rule for linemen, which is if there's someone in the heads-up area of you, right? Let's just say there's a guy here in front of the lineman, you would leave him alone, and you would go to the guy who is next to you on your teammate, right? It gets a little complicated sometimes, I know, right? So, real quick, let's say we're highlighting Alaric Jackson here, right, with a little star above him. He would not block that guy in front of him. He would go and help block number 7, Nwosu there, right? Because he is to the side, you're running the football. And then Steve Avila, he would not get the guy in front of him. He would get that imaginary dude that would be in front of Alaric Jackson there. So they don't block it that way. The covered, uncovered rule. I'm just trying to be short on that. They just do flat out old school who's in front of you, right? So you're going to get Puka Nacua on this outside zone. He's going to go forward and block the guy who shows up in front of him. You're going to get Colby Parkinson, going to block Nwosu right in front of him. You're going to get Alaric Jackson. He's going to kind of reach to the outside, take a step, and get the guy in front of him, which ends up being Ernest Jones. Steve Avila, he's going to reach slightly to the left and block whoever is in front of him, Leonard Williams. Coleman Schoen, reach to the left slightly, step to the left, get the guy in front of him, Byron Murphy. Now, on the backside of this, because Kevin Dotson and Rob are not getting the ball ran to their side, what Kevin does on this, he's going to help block real quick on Murphy, and then he's going to also kind of tail off and have a cutoff block to anyone that may be trying to run down the play from the back and tackle Williams from his back. So he's going to do that, help real quick, and then push away, try to cut somebody off, trying to run into the backfield. And then Rob Havenstein's doing the same thing. He's going to step to the left real quick, but then really just try to cut off anyone from that backside there. Now, this play is an outside zone run play, so Williams will be getting the handoff, and his rules are as such. for any zone inside or this outside. It is the bang, bounce, or bend rule. Bang meaning, hey, read it, you see an alley, smash it forward, bang it in. If it's all clogged up, do you bounce it to the outside, right? That's another option that could happen to you, right? So you get the bang, and then I'll draw a couple of dashes. Does he have to bounce it to the outside there? Or are things clogged up in the area you're trying to get? There's no room to bounce it. Do you bend it back in? That would be the other part of this, where nothing's there. Maybe there's a cutback lane, right? And he sees something there, and he bends it back in. So those are the rules for the running back. When you're doing inside or outside zone, do you bang it forward? Do you bounce it? Or do you bend it back in like a cutback? So that's pretty much what the Rams are doing, as they're trying to avoid the big guys in the middle there on the Seahawks defense, which they are in their nickel package, meaning they have 5 DBs, and they got to guard the 11 personnel of the Rams. Totally makes sense, right? Even if they're in 4th and 1 situation, you got to be ready for the pass, and they do as such. And the Rams, again, smartly are avoiding these two guys, and, you know, in the middle, Murphy, Leonard Williams, and then Ernest Jones, who are all really good at stopping the run. So they say, hey, let's attack to the outside to your guys, your corners, your outside linebackers who aren't as fantastic stopping the run as those three in the middle there. So with that said, let's let it play for a sec and see what the heck happens. So as you can see here, not the traditional covered, uncovered blocking scheme like you see in normal zone plays. Everyone's just kind of straight up, get the guy in front of you. Very old school way of doing it, but effective here. So you see things going, and then look at all the great blocks here, everyone. This is blocked fantastic. You see Alaric Jackson, right, steps forward, does one hell of a job sealing off Ernest Jones. Colby Parkinson does one hell of a job getting the outside linebacker Nwosu out of the way. You see Whittington out wide blocking Woolen. You see Steve Avila just did enough to get Williams, blocked up for a bit. And then Nakua getting to even Worry there on the second level. Coleman Shellen did enough. You see, right, the cutoff blocks by Kevin Dotson and others on the outside there, and Rob Havenstein, right? Not perfect, which is fine. But then, guys, on top of all that, look at the alley that Kyron Williams has, right? He didn't have to bounce it. He didn't have to bend it. He can smash and bang forward, and it's blocked beautifully on this 4th and 1 situation. Now, let's let it go a little bit more here for fun. As you see, I mean, whew, look at that move right there, everyone. Great job making a guy miss, right? As Kyron doesn't get enough credit for his agility, as he got the yardage to get the first, and then he's looking for the home run, as whoop, made that guy miss. And as he's going forward, it looks like it's going to be a touchdown, but even Ward chases him down. But one hell of a play here to get that all together on that 4th and 1. What an impactful play that was. Again, great blocking. And Wilson had an arm there. He had an opportunity, but could not get him down. And old school outside zone blocking got the job done as Rams went on to score a little bit right after this. Great play, great little scheme, and great execution. On this third impactful play of the game, we're going to jump now all the way to the end of the third quarter. 1 minute, 15 seconds left in the third. 1st and 20 situation for the Seahawks offense as the Rams are up 14-12. So after some more craziness back and forth in that second quarter and majority of the third, here we are after a penalty on Seattle as they're trying to get a drive going and take the lead in the game. And in this 12 personnel grouping, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Seattle, they decide to run a pass play out of this, and we'll draw the routes as such. So you get Rashid Shaheed. We're running a deep out route. You're going to get the tight end here running kind of like a skinny post, I like to call it. You're going to get a little motion before the snap with the other tight end, Arroyo, to that area. Then he'll also be running kind of like a skinny post. And then you're going to get checked down by the running back, And then Njigba out there will be running that streak or go route down the field as well. So that's what Seattle's doing, right? They're just trying to attack downfield and get some chunk yardage back after, they're in a first and 20. So the Rams defense on this, they are in their nickel package, meaning they have 5 DBs out there on the field. And they are running cover 6 match zone. So what is cover 6? That means if I split the field in half real quick, I'll just draw kind of this imaginary slash line. One half of the field, 2 guys are covering deep, which will be Cameron Curl and then Darius Williams. On the other half, Cameron Kitchens will be covering deep to himself on that half of the field. Now, the cover 6 name, long story short, comes from half the field looking like cover 2, half the field looking like cover 4. So, hey, 4 plus 2 equals 6. That's where you get the cover 6. And everyone else will be underneath, right? You'll get zone there. You'll get zone there. You'll get zone underneath by Wallace, who's filling in for an injured leg. You'll get zone underneath there from Emmanuel Forbes. And, of course, all the rushers will be going as normal. So, cover 6 match zone. And what does that mean? I think I'm going to let this play a quick second where it will make more sense. So let's let it go a little bit more here. You'll get the motion, right? You're going to get the motion by the tight end there. Everyone kind of bumps over real quick. Okay, so let's let the play go, and it'll make more sense why it's match. Okay, right here. So again, you see everyone going to the respective areas. But in match zone, it's kind of like a hybrid between zone and man. The match part of this means that when a pass catcher enters your zone you're responsible for as a defender, right, defending your area, you got to start running with them like it's man-to-man coverage, right? It's not like just zone like, hey, if somebody runs by me, I'll pass him off to somebody else if he enters their zone. No. If someone enters your zone, that's your guy for the rest of the play, which is why you see Wallace is running with the tight end. You see Omar Spates. He is going to also start running with that tight end. Emmanuel Forbes is going to run with Njigba. And then everyone else is in zone and waiting for them to enter their area to match up with them, if that makes all sense, right? Okay. Hopefully that does for you. So with this cover 6 match zone, let's let it go a little bit more here. I mean, Sam Darnold just makes an absolutely terrible decision. But why is that? Well, you see pressure yet again getting in his face, right? You got guys all around him. The line on offense is collapsing, and he's got to get rid of the ball. He's probably going to get sacked or force a fumble on himself or whatever. So what he sees here, he's going to be trying to force this ball to that post route to Arroyo, the tight end. But if you look at that, everyone, Omar Spates is doing one hell of a job in his match zone responsibility running with the tight end. And then on top of that, Cameron Kitchens is just chilling back there in his part of the field deep. And this thing has no chance of being completed, right? Let's let it go a little bit more. And guys, I mean, this was just such a bad decision by Sam Darnold, and Cameron Kitchens, yet again for his second interception of the day, snags that thing and gets the turnover. But again, let's credit Omar Spates, who's, his forte isn't running with pass catchers and defending the pass, right? He's a good run stuffer. It's not like he can't do it, but that's not his forte. He's doing one hell of a job. Royal's not open on that. But Cameron Kitchen reads it and says, oh, this is an easy interception. And you guessed it, he snagged it on this one. Boom, grabs it, gets another great return as looks like maybe he had a chance to really run it back, but so be it. He gets good yardage on that. But, I mean, guys, pretty simplistic defense the Rams were doing. Cover 6 match zone. Omar does a great job. Everyone covers up pretty good. And Sam just forces this thing. There was no reason to force feed that immediately when the guy wasn't even open anyway, and the pass wasn't that accurate anyway. I know, yes, coverage was around him. He was feeling the pressure, and what an impactful play this was, as the Rams do eventually score later after this turnover. But man, oh man, that's great job by the Rams defense, covering up things good, and the quarterback just made a bad decision on that. On this fourth impactful play of the game, we're going to jump now to the end of the fourth quarter. 1 minute, 54 seconds left. 3rd and 10 situation for the Rams offense as they're up 21-19. They are barely hanging on as they ran it a couple times, trying to run out the clock and get a first down and end the game. But Seahawks used their timeouts, got good stops, and the Rams need a first down to put this game away. And they're going to pass the football out of this. And what they decide to do here is a concept I'm not a fan of, truthfully, but we'll draw it as such. So you're going to get Devontae Adams. He'll be running kind of like an inside, quick little stop, comeback, curl route, whatever your name you like. Whittington on the inside will be running a fade to the outside there. You're going to be getting also Kyron Williams will be kind of like a check down swing pass to the outside there. And then you're going to get a little burst motion by Ferguson, the young tight end. Quick motion to the outside. He will also be running kind of like this short stop, comeback, curl route. And then Puka Nacua will be running a deeper in or dig route to try to get open and, get the first down that way as well. So a deep shot, 2 short options, and then Nacua being that intermediate where, again, they need 10 yards on this. So having routes run short was very questionable, in my opinion, watching the game live and even looking back at the film here. But that is what the Rams decide to do in this 11 personnel grouping: 1 tight end, 1 running back, 3 wide receivers. So what are the Seahawks doing on this critical down here? They are in their dime package, meaning they have 6 DBs on the field, as they know the Rams have to throw this football here. And they run cover 1 robber themselves. So let's let it just play a quick second here as things get lined up. You see the burst motion or the quick motion, and you see Imanwari follow him to the outside. So, okay, right here, let's let it play. You're going to get man at the bottom with Woolen. You're going to get man here. You're going to get man there, man there. The one person responsible deep in this cover 1. And then he will be robbering underneath, just like we pointed out earlier in this episode with Kitchens being the robber guy when he got his interception. That is what his responsibility is, right? Try to rob the play, stop anything from happening underneath. And then you're going to get, obviously, man there with the running back with all the other guys rushing the passer on this. So Seattle's banking on, hey, our guys can cover your guys, and if they don't, then we deserve to lose the game. And we're going to make sure we have someone guarding the middle trying to rob it there and stop anything going down on that portion of the field. And let's let it go a little bit more here. I mean, guys, this is just covered up beautifully. The defense does one hell of a job. As the first read of Matthew Stafford, let's rewind it just a hair here. He's looking for Puka Nacua on that in/dig route. That is 100% where his head is, and that is definitely the primary read. Why? Because that's one of the only routes that's past 10 yards to get a first down. Let's let it go, play a little bit more here. And you can see, everyone, that the other routes are short. I mean, I don't like the play call. That's just my own personal preference, which was puzzling. But Seattle defense is great. Again, you get the man-to-man coverage everywhere, right? Tight ends, man there on the outside. You get the one guy deep in this cover 1 robber. Man there. And then man, and then there's the robber underneath to rob this play from happening. It is just an absolutely phenomenal job in a do-or-die situation for Seattle, right? They give up this first down. It's game over for them. And again, the play call from the Rams side of things I thought should have been way better, as again, they needed 10 yards. There's all these guys running short, which doesn't make sense to me. And of course, you get 1 deep, 1 intermediate, and another short guy. I don't know. This play call was a little wacky. And Matthew Stafford says, we got to, complete this, because the nightmare scenario for the Rams is you make an incompletion on this, and the Seahawks still are able to keep a timeout to try to win this game late. And, well, folks, that's exactly what happens. As Devontae is there, he says, uh-oh, things aren't open. I'm going to try to just break it inside to, get a completion. But him and Matthew cannot connect on this. Boom, incompletion. Stafford probably could have waited a hair second. They probably could have completed it. Wasn't going to be a first down, no doubt about it, unless, Devontae broke a bunch of tackles. But man, oh man, nightmare scenario for the Rams as they were trying to close it out. As again, the cover one robber took away Nakua as the primary read, and then everyone else was running short, and this play was just screwed from that point on. Incomplete. Seahawks keep the timeout, and they have a chance to win this game as they could stop the clock and shoot. With a minute 40 seconds, that's plenty of time to get into field goal range. So what an impactful play this was. Seattle is alive to win the game. And again, nightmare scenario for the Rams. Incomplete pass. Could not burn more time off and burn that time out. But the play call, I did not enjoy it. Weird play call in the scenario, having a bunch of guys run short and only one guy intermediate, one guy deep. On this fifth and final impactful play of the game, fourth quarter, 5 seconds left. 1st and 10 situation for the Seahawks offense in this do or die situation as they need 6 yards to reach where their all-pro kicker Jason Myers has made a field goal for his career long. They need 6 yards. So here they are in 11 personnel grouping. Empty backfield, right, with the 1 tight end, 1 running back, and all their receivers. And everyone is running quick slants to get to that 6-yard area, right? Boom. Get 6, right? Boom. Get 6. Same thing on here. Get 6 yards. Get 6. No different with the tight end as well there. As everything is get that yardage, fall down, and then use that timeout that the Rams weren't able to get them to burn, on the play we showed earlier on that impactful 4th play. So here they are with a chance to win it, which is insane after Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions. We highlighted 2 of them here today. And the Rams offense just couldn't do anything for majority of the game from that, second to majority of the 4th as well. So that is what Seattle's doing on this play. And the Rams defense, they are in their dime package, meaning they have 6 DBs on the field, right? They know it's pass. They're not running the football. So let's get all our pass defensive guys out there. And in this, they drop everyone in the coverage, all 11 guys, which was incredibly smart from defensive coordinator Chris Shula. As why are we going to try to rush the passer? We know they're trying to throw it immediately. What's the point of that? Let's just get bodies covering and forget the pass rush, which is a good thing to do. But with that, they are going man-to-man at the top. Man there. Forbes man within Jigba. And then everyone else is just dropping in the zone. Drop there. Drop there. He's deep just in case something happens. Short. And then all of the pass rushers dropping to guard against the short passing game, right? And this was such a smart play call by the Rams defense. I can't point that out enough. Good situational awareness, right? Most coordinators maybe don't even think of this. Maybe aren't even aware of where Myers' career long is, as it seems like the Rams knew. They only needed 6 yards. And, man, smart by them in this do-or-die situation. So let's let it play for a second, see what the heck happens. So, as you see there, I think Sam Darnold was surprised. Look at, he immediately wanted to throw to Njigba, right? Makes sense. Their best player, as we rewind it a little bit more. As he was looking, look at him. His throwing hand is up in the air. He is getting ready to throw this thing to Njigba, their best player by far on offense. No doubt about it. One of the best receivers in the NFL, too. And because everyone is dropping into coverage, that's not available, right? An incompletion, not the end of the world, but they need that 6 yards to be able to at least have a chance for Myers to hit his career long or match his career long, right? So, boom, he looks there first. Nothing there. Let's let it go a little bit more here. Then says, uh-oh. And, man, he's lucky that Rashid Shaheed stopped running the slant and decided, to just settle down right there. Now, you could argue that Darius Williams, should have been in tighter coverage, but you don't want Rashid Shaheed to burn you, right? He's one of the fastest wide receivers in the entire NFL. So they said, all right, you want to catch that short? Fine. Maybe you'll run out of time, which I thought what happened. But again, real quick here, those 4 seconds it took from Sam Darnold looking to his left and then having to kind of scramble back in his brain and throw it to the right, I thought all 5 seconds that were left on the clock got burned up, but lucky for Shaheed there and the Seahawks, time wasn't expired, but where he caught it was only 5 yards, not 6, for what the Seattle Seahawks needed to at least match the area or the field where Jason Myers, the all-pro kicker, has kicked a career long. So the Rams defense, great play call, forced time to get Warren off the clock, didn't give up the 6 yards, only gave up 5, which then eventually led them to winning this game because Myers completely missed it on the game-winning field goal attempt. But guys, great job by everyone clogging up the lanes, right? Sam looked there first, and then Shaheed just needed to get one more yard, and maybe things would have been different for Seattle. Maybe Myers would have felt better kicking it. Maybe he still misses. I guess we'll never know fully, but man, what an impactful play this was. Burnt time off the clock. The first read, which definitely would have been 6 yards or more for Njigba, wasn't completed, and Seattle was pretty damn lucky that time wasn't expired on that. As I did track it, it was about 4.5 seconds. Lucky them. But man, what a game this was, and what a masterclass of defensive performance by the Rams as they held on, got the W.